little context on this hunt. A few years ago, the state of Indiana expanded what used to be their urban zones to something now they call a reduction zone. Urban zones being, hunting areas around cities. Reduction zones, they expanded that around those cities to also then include highway systems and various areas where there might be elevated deer vehicle accidents. So the cool part about the whole zone is the hunting opens about 2 weeks before regular seasons open and stays open about a month after seasons close. Most of these properties are private. I'm sure somewhere in the mix there's some public in there, but you also increase the number of tags you're allowed. So they allow 10 additional deer beyond the regular season bag limits to be taken in these zones. The caveat to that is only one of those 10 deer can be a buck, and to shoot a buck, you have to first shoot a doe on a reduction zone tag in one of those areas. So now the state of Indiana publishes a map, and this map is fluid and fairly dynamic, and so every year you need to check it because it's going to adjust. But basically, here's a map from their website, and you can see the highlighted areas in kind of yellow with red bold outlines. Those are the reduction zones for this year. So for me, it's get out there. I typically like to get a doe down early in the season so that I can open up that second buck tag, especially if you got an early season buck you're patterning or whatever. It just is a wonderful benefit to have. So you also have to remember going into these hunts that the state of Indiana wants these deer dead, and typically the farmer, most generally, wants a lot of these deer dead as well due to crop destruction. So I don't get too picky, especially on the first doe of the year. As long as it doesn't have spots and isn't a button buck, I'll never want to shoot button bucks if I can avoid it. So I'll take one out. So anyway, so what you're going to see in this hunt is an early season reduction zone hunt where we take out a young doe. And from here forward, I can hunt that second buck if I want to, and I'll start focusing on some more mature does, which I would have taken these does out anyway. So stay tuned and enjoy. It is September 24th, going out for an evening hunt. Again, reduction zone property in Indiana, where you got to shoot a doe before you can shoot a buck. This weekend also happens to be our youth season in Indiana. So since youth can use firearms, I have to wear orange. No big deal, just throw a hat on and go. But so there's that. But it's pretty warm today. 78 degrees this afternoon. We get an northeast wind at about 6-7 miles an hour, which should be pretty nice. Hopefully it stays consistent. A little warmer than I'd like, obviously, but I'm pretty sure something's going to step out. Last night there were deer all over per the trail camera, so interesting to see what tonight shows. So I'm excited. Let it set for about a week, so hopefully we get lucky tonight. Got in here pretty quiet and clean, I think. Got all set up. Definitely got an east to kind of northeast wind, which is really perfect because most of the deer come into this food plot area from the east. Sometimes they can come from the southwest, but it doesn't happen very often. So who knows? And she's like, did she freaking pick me off? I think it picked off so bad this year. Wind's perfect. I'm in a tree with cover. I don't know why. All right, so shot that doe in about the last 15 minutes legal time. 25-yard shot. Hit her lower than I wanted. I played it back in the camera. It looked like it was right there in the seam, but maybe 2 inches lower than ideal. She laid down, got up, laid down, got up a couple times. But man, these winds are, we had really good winds when I started this hunt, and then as early season often does at dark, it just, everything dies and all the thermals just settle and pooled. And I had 4 different does come in and they were all getting kind of weird, and this one finally came over and gave me a broadside 25-yard shot, so I took it. I watched her go over and lay down. She got up and laid down again, and then got up again. So I don't think she went very far. I got some decent blood on the arrow. Just a little lower than I'd like to have hit her, but I'm gonna give her here a little bit and go in and find her. So back in to start looking. Video looked a lot better than I thought. I haven't gone very far, and already I got really good blood. More blood. Bunch of blood right there. Blood. A lot of blood. Dude, she's laying right here. Right here in front of me. She didn't go 50 yards from where I shot her. Small doe, young doe. She'll eat well. There's the entrance right there. All right, so I found her, little doe, smaller than I had hoped for, but she is a doe, and so that basically punches my earn a buck tag. I got a ton more doe tags. I'm gonna focus on some mature does now, and good buck once something shows up. So yeah, I'm very happy with her. You know, wish she was bigger, but when it gets late like that and you got 2 deer, it's hard to size them up. You know, it looks a lot brighter on camera than it is in person, but made a good shot on her. It turns out she didn't go 50 yards probably. So that's it. I'm gonna get her carried out of here and drug out and everything. And yeah, as always, it's a new day in the outdoors.